Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Camden and welcome back to day 2. Another little stream. Oh, nearly had the replay on there. Best mute that so you can't hear me twice. Today we're going to go over Marco Silva's pre-game press conference that was actually yesterday for our upcoming Premier League fixture against Bournemouth tomorrow afternoon. Now, I've been wanting to do these consistently now and I'm going to try and do them for pretty much every press conference. Yesterday, I was a little bit busy. Obviously, I had work when the press conference was actually on, and then I was a little bit busy coming home as well. So I couldn't sit down and do it yesterday, but I thought, you know what, the game's on Sunday, so, you know, it's Saturday afternoon. I wasn't really doing much. I was sitting downstairs, so I thought, you know what, I'll come on and I'll talk about the press conference because obviously Marco Silva said some interesting things in yesterday's press conference. He confirmed that we've got no new injuries ahead of tomorrow's game, which is obviously fantastic. We spoke about that on Thursday during the game preview. We spoke about how important it is that we've come out of this international break with absolutely no injuries whatsoever. It's very rare for Everton for us to come out of an international break and no players who have been injured. So it's absolutely fantastic news. Obviously, everyone's still fit, everyone available for this game, other than obviously Jean-Philippe Gbamin, who is still in the process of regaining fitness after his injury. So we're going to talk about the press conference today. I've also might have something going on a little bit later on tonight at around 6-7 o'clock, but I'm not going to say too much about it yet because I don't quite know how we're going to do it or whether it's going to work yet, so keep your eye out for that one. Wayne says safe cam boxing on at 5. It's going to be a long day, need a few results to go our way today. At least we're on telly tomorrow. It is, Tyson Fury's fighting tonight, isn't he, in Vegas. It'll probably be at some point in the middle of the night because 5 a.m. because it's in Las Vegas. So if I'm awake, I might stay up and watch it, but I highly doubt I'll be awake. But anyway, like I said, we're going to go and talk about Marco Silva's press conference. You guys seem to really enjoy the last couple of press conference reactions I've done. A couple of people even saying that it was more interesting listening to me than Marco Silva, which obviously was quite nice to hear. So I thought, you know what, I'm not really doing much, so we'll come on and we'll talk about it. It was yesterday, to be fair, but you know, I don't think it matters too much that it was yesterday, does it? Listen, you know, it's a day late, but we're still going to talk about the press conference, so does it really matter? David says we should be beating Bournemouth, no disrespect, but if we want to get top 6, we need 8+ away wins. Spot on, mate, spot on. Yeah, listen, big game for Everton tomorrow. Massive game for Marco Silva, and a game that we should be looking at and we should be thinking, we've got to definitely win this game. We have got to win this game because Bournemouth are a team, like you've said there, that we should be going away from home and we should be getting points because we spoke about our home record on Thursday in the game preview. We spoke about how it's been very good recently. However, we still need to be picking up wins away from home, and these are the sides that you're going to be going to, and we're going to be needing to pick up wins. So for me, there's no excuses to not get the 3 points tomorrow. It'll be a tough game. Bournemouth always give us a tough game, but you know, we should be coming away with the win tomorrow. Jeff says, yay, just what I needed. Cam from Everton chat. Yes, spot on, Jeff. David says to Jeff, can't think of an Everton name, says 6-6 tomorrow. We'll be 6-0 up. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me with recent results against Bournemouth that a team that often it's a game that often holds a lot of goals, so hopefully we get the 3 points, but I dare say it'll be a little bit of an emphatic game. Jeff says, hi, David. Right, so we'll go straight into talking about the press conference straight away. That's why we're here, so we're going to talk about it. So, Marco Silva, like we said before, he started off by talking about the fact that we've had no fresh injuries. Obviously, quite a lot of the squad going away with their internationals. Alex Iwobi going away, Gylfi Sigurdsson going away. Obviously, you had Tom Davies, Jordan Pickford, Michael Keane for England. All have come back injury-free, fresh and ready to play in tomorrow's Premier League fixture, which is absolutely massive considering, you know, like we said in previous years, this international break has been the one that's sort of seen Everton players come back with slight injuries and slight niggles, and it's had a real knock-on effect on the start of our season. It's fantastic to see that everybody is fit and ready to go, and you know, it's out the way now, the international break. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So that was the first bit of big news. He then went on to talking about Richarlison. He said Richarlison has the instinct to score, and I want other wingers to have the same instincts. Alex has the quality to improve. So we spoke about Alex Iwobi and how he settled into the club, and he said he's quite impressed with how he's settled in already. He said that Richarlison has got that natural instinct, which, you know, we've all sat and we've all talked about over the last sort of week or so, especially after his performance against Wolves. We said about how he's got that natural goal scoring instinct. He's in the right places at the right times. He's scoring goals for Everton. Marco Silva obviously also noticing that and also taking note and appreciating that. He said he wants the other wingers to have similar instincts. He wants the other wingers to chip in. He mentioned Theo Walcott as well. Whatever you think of that, I'll leave that to you. But he mentioned Theo Walcott chipping in. And of course, he mentioned Alex Iwobi. He said that, he wants Alex Iwobi to have very similar instincts to Richarlison, being in the right place at the right time. Obviously, he said he started well with 2 goals in his first 2 starts for Everton. But, obviously, as the season goes on, he needs to be involved a lot more and he needs to be continuing, this form. This can't just be, a reign of form where he's scoring a couple of goals because he's new into the team and, he's got the momentum on his side. He needs to be continuing this throughout the rest of the season. He then went on to talking a little bit more about Alex Iwobi. He said, "We are happy with him. Now it's a matter for us to keep working with him. He has many things to keep improving, which he really can help us." So that's a big positive. That's Marco Silva literally coming out and saying, listen, Alex Iwobi started really, really well. He scored 2 goals in 2 starts for Everton. He's been fantastic, and not just his goals, but going forward, his overall play, his press, his ability to look for a man and his want to put the ball in the back of the net for Everton. But he's saying that, he's had all that already, but he's got a lot to improve and he will only improve. And obviously, we all know that. Listen, Alex Iwobi's a player that, was hot and cold, I think, for Arsenal a lot of the time. Always had real quality, always had real talent, but because of the fact that he was in and out their squad, because of the fact that he wasn't given an awful lot of opportunities, at Arsenal, certainly under Unai Emery when he come in, he was a player that I think a lot of people looked at and went, on his day, he's absolutely quality, but he needs to keep it up. He needs to be a little bit more consistent. And obviously, Marco Silva's has seen that in him as well. And Marco Silva's seen the real quality and the real class that he has, but understands that he needs to carry on improving and that he can carry on improving. And listen, if this is an Alex Iwobi that we're looking at and we're thinking, well, that's not even at him at his best, he can improve, he can further improve, then we're going to have some top player on our hands. This is a lad, like I said, that is in the right place at the right time, that is there as well. He's got a very similar instinct to Richarlison. I wouldn't say it's as potent in terms of, where to be, but you've seen both of his goals. Obviously, his first goal against Lincoln was him being, where he needed to be, and the header against Wolves was an absolutely unbelievable finish, and, he was in and around the area, which is where Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be effectively in that position, being that striker. So obviously, that's really interesting to hear Marco Silva say. He also spoke about away performances. Now, this is something that we spoke about in the game preview to this game. We spoke about how we need to improve our away performances. We need to, improve our away from home, and we need to continue to, play, like, almost take the home form into away games, and this is something that Marco Silva spoke about as well. And obviously we know it's not going to be the same. You're not the same at home as you are away from home, and that's understandable. But it's such a contrast for me, the way we perform at Goodison Park and the way we've been performing at Goodison Park recently, compared to the way that we perform away from home is a contrast, because it's quite different. Obviously, you only have to look at the Wolves game, which we pretty much dominated, and then look at the Villa game away from home, which we were absolutely turned over. So Marco Silva said, we have to improve our away performances. They were better last season than in the previous seasons, but we must improve. So he was saying about how, in comparison to previous managers and in previous seasons, we have improved the away performances. They are considerably better, but they still need to be a lot better. And I think that's understandable, and I think it's important that Marco Silva said that. He couldn't have answered this question. This journalist put a question to him and said, listen, do you think you need to improve away performances? He couldn't have just answered saying, well, our away performances last season were better than they were in the previous season, because then fans would have been going, well, they're still not good enough, because we're still losing games against Villa, we're still losing games against Fulham, we're still dropping points against Bournemouth, etc. But Marco Silva come out and said, listen, whilst they've been improved on previous seasons, we still need to massively improve, because we can't be going out and being beaten like we were at Aston Villa and like we were at Fulham last season. We need to be winning those type of games. So obviously that was really interesting to hear Marco Silva say. Let's just dive straight back into the live comments now. Can't think of enough names, says we should win, but we won't. Fair enough. Jeff says, I think Delph will really make a difference to our away form's attitude, and influence will be to the difference. Yeah, exactly, and he's coming from, obviously, a team, coming from a squad, coming from a setup that are used to winning pretty much every game of football in a season, winning the league by over 100 points, so he's got that experience, he's got that mentality that I definitely do think will help us going forward. Jeff says, Marco Silva says a lot of words whilst managing to give almost nothing away. It's genius, he does. Wayne says, I don't know why, but when I listen to Silva's press conferences, I need to replay it as I forgot what he said. Could be language barrier or because I'm always multitasking. Kabam, an injury might not be too bad. Yeah, listen, probably because you're multitasking. I'm trying to watch it while I'm, doing other things as well. So you do have to sort of check back on social media and just go over what he said. And that's why I like to do this press conference reaction. And that's why, I've done it today, because it's an interesting time for us to sit back and go over what Marco Silva said and really, really delve into it. Because usually at 1:30 on a Friday afternoon, you're doing other things. You're either in work, or you're trying to, get the dinner sorted, or you're running around in the house, or you probably are just listening to it in the background. So, that's why I like to sit down and really, really delve into it and talk about what Marco Silva has said. If you're not enjoying today's team, by the way, please do leave a like. It'd mean a massive, massive amount to me. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. David says, can never hear the questions in a presser, and they're sponsored by Megaphone. Yeah, listen. The journalists, I don't think the journalists are mic'd up. Obviously, it is only Marco Silva mic'd up, so you're hearing answers, but sometimes they can be taken out of context a little bit. But I think that the majority of yesterday's press conference was obviously based around tomorrow's game, because it was the press conference for tomorrow's game, but it was also based around, obviously, the away form recently, making sure that, we haven't had any fresh injuries since the international break. And then, of course, a little bit of an update on Jean-Philippe Gbamin. He's progressing well. He's still quite far away from being back in the first team, but we knew that anyway. But like I said, it's massively important that we've come out of this international break with no injuries. I can't stress enough how much of a burden and how much of a pain in the arse it'd have been if, Marco Silva had sat there yesterday and he'd went, well, Luca Dean got a niggle when playing for France, so we don't know whether he's fit. Alex Iwobi, has hurt himself playing for Nigeria, so we don't know whether he's fit, and that's happened multiple times in previous seasons. So it's fantastically important that it was a breath of fresh air, really, when you sat there yesterday and, you heard the question by a journalist, and it was such a breath of fresh air when Marco Silva said, oh no, everybody still remains fit, there's no fresh injuries. I was sitting back like, oh, thank fuck for that. So yeah, that just shows our luck in previous seasons, really, doesn't it? Jeff says, can you imagine Cam interviewing Marco? It would go on for days and would need subtitles. David says, the players we have shouldn't need motivation. If they are not playing to win, they shouldn't be here. Very, very fair point. And everybody should be playing for winning in the first team, and everybody should be there going to the game tomorrow against Bournemouth. Obviously they'll be travelling up there today, I dare say. And they should be approaching this game thinking, this is a game we need to win, this is a game we should win. We've got more quality on paper than Bournemouth, and I know football isn't played on paper, but at the end of the day, this is a big game tomorrow, and it's a big chance for us to get 3 points, and we need to get 3 points at the end of the day, because we need to start winning games away from home. And obviously we haven't won one in the Premier League this season. We beat Lincoln away from home, granted, but when you look at the performances and the teams that we've played away from home so far in the Premier League, Palace obviously, which again, taking into consideration the circumstances of that game, I can understand obviously that a point was all we could settle for in the end, but the Villa game, for me, there was absolutely no excuse with. I can't think of enough names. Just notice your favourite word is absolutely. It is, yeah. I like to exaggerate things, and I think absolutely is a boss word to exaggerate things with. Wayne says, Man United got a lot of injuries, and like I said, out for a while, could do with 3 points tomorrow. Exactly, and like I said, you do have to look at the teams around us, and we said this midweek in one of the live streams. I spoke about how we can't just be looking at Leicester and Wolves and thinking, right, they're the teams that we're competing with this season, because realistically we're competing with United, we're competing with Chelsea, we may also be competing with Arsenal as well. So we need to be looking at these teams and going, well, how's their squad looking, how are their performances looking? And one thing that I don't really like about playing on a Sunday afternoon, and one thing that I'm a little bit cautious about for tomorrow, is that obviously Manchester United are playing in 10 minutes against Leicester, so one of those teams is guaranteed to drop points, if not both. I think you've got Wolves playing today as well, so typical Everton would have every single result go our way today, go and play Bournemouth tomorrow with an opportunity to get an advantage on these teams and absolutely fuck up, because that's typical Everton. So I just hope that the players and Marco Silva aren't paying an awful lot of attention to the results today. We really shouldn't be looking at how Man United get on against Leicester, how Arsenal get on, how Wolves get on, because that's something that we should be looking at tomorrow after we've got the 3 points against Bournemouth. The players, the manager should be totally focused on the Bournemouth game tomorrow, and that's it really, because at the end of the day, other teams around us can lose, other teams around us can drop points, but if we're not picking up points, then, it doesn't really matter, does it? David says, Chris says, hi guys, hope you're all well. Hi Chris, I'm not doing too bad, I hope you're doing well yourself. Paddy Blue says, this is class, thanks for the content. Thank you very much, Paddy, thank you very much for your kind words. Jeff says, hi Chris, hope you're okay. Can't think of enough names. Says, don't get why people are sympathetic for Bernard. Iwobi has already scored as many goals as him. Yeah, listen, to be honest with you, with the situation with Bernard, I wouldn't say it's too much sympathy because it's competition and he's got to learn to deal with it, and he will learn to deal with it. He's a professional player. He understands that Iwobi's come in and started fantastically well, and he understands that he's got to fight for his place. But I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant that we've got Bernardo come in and the opening game of the season at home scored an absolutely fantastic goal. Week later, he's been taken out the team for a player that we've brought in for £30 million who plays in the same position, and that player has already scored 2 goals as well. So it's friendly competition, and if you've got Bernard playing and scoring goals when he's playing to try and get in the first team week in, week out, and you've got Iwobi doing the same, then we're getting goals all over the pitch. So for me, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm made up that, you know, Bernard is now having to fight his way back into the team. I'm made up that Iwobi's got to keep those performances up because Bernard will be knocking on the door. Chris says, I'm good, Jeff, yourself, mate. Wayne says, Jeff lives up the top. He's top 4 after tomorrow. Listen, hopefully. Jeff says, Sam, thanks, buddy. David says, Bernard is technically better than Iwobi, to be fair. Fair enough. I think Iwobi is... It's difficult. You can't really sit and say Iwobi's in better form or Iwobi's playing better because we're 5 games in at the end of the day, and the game that Bernard started and played, obviously, other than the Palace game, he scored a really, really good goal and put in a fantastic performance. And the games that Iwobi's played, he's played well as well. So it's difficult to say. Can't think of enough names. Says unpopular opinions. A boss, keep it up. Thank you very, very much. I've got another one of those coming soon. Probably Wednesday next week. We'll do another one of them, and it is an unpopular one. Trust me, it's a real unpopular one. So don't forget to join us Wednesday at 6:15 for that one. Jeff says, I'm always on my phone. Wayne, that's true. I'm addicted. Wayne says, have a good weekend, Jeff and all Evertonians. Yes. David says, it's us versus us at the moment. No need to look at other teams. Spot on, David. I think that's a brilliant comment. It is. We need to focus on ourselves, and we need to focus on getting the 3 points tomorrow and not focus on the teams that are around us. Jeff says, plus Everton haven't excited me this much in years. We are close to being really good. David says, too, we are. Jeff says, yeah, David, spot on, mate. It's about believing in ourselves now. We need to destroy teams. We do. Chris says, isn't it good to have a real football back instead of international break? It is. And can't think of enough names. Says, I have at least an unpopular opinion. If we don't finish at least 6th, the manager has to go. Listen, fair enough. Listen, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, and we're going to discuss that in one of the unpopular opinion episodes, because talking about the unpopular opinions for a second, and I know we've gone a little bit off topic to his press conference, and we'll dive straight back into it in a sec, but talking about the unpopular opinion series, I don't just want it to be my unpopular opinions, I want it to be everybody else's unpopular opinions as well. And listen, I've got a few in the I've got a notes page of unpopular opinions for future episodes, which we're going to talk about, but I also want to pick some unpopular opinions from you guys and talk about them, and, you know, I'll discuss whether I agree, I'll discuss whether I disagree, and then we can talk about it in the comments, because, you know, it's like I said, it's not just about me, it's about everyone else as well. And Jeff says, you to win. Yeah, if you're enjoying today's team, by the way, please do hit that like button. Mean a massive amount to me. So diving straight back into the press conference, Marco Silva went on to further talk about Alex Iwobi. He said he's working really well, he has the quality, many things to keep improving because he can really help our team. He has to score more goals. The other thing is to keep improving his defensive processes. He has the quality, and I think that's obviously very, very interesting. You know, something that we noticed from Bernard and Richarlison last season was, you know, how much they were helping out defensively, how much they were helping out their fullbacks. Obviously, that's something Marco Silva's picked up on as an improvement for Alex Iwobi, which is completely fair enough. But the fact that, you know, Iwobi's come in, he started 2 games for Everton, he scored 2 goals, and Marco Silva's still saying he needs to score more goals and he needs to improve. It shows the level that Marco Silva wants these players to be at, and the level of expectation at the football club now has just risen so much. I mean, this lad's come in from Arsenal, you know, he's scoring consistently, you know, he's performing really, really well, and the level of expectation is still that he needs to improve, he needs to score more, he needs to be involved more, and I think that's only going to help Alex Iwobi, and obviously it's only going to help Everton as well. Jeff says, no, Marco will grow with the team, he's a super coach and the players love him. We have to have the patience, long-term progression is required. I agree with that. Can't think of enough names. We want the United game to be a draw for our sake. We do, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter unless we go out and get the 3 points tomorrow, so we need to just focus on going out and getting the 3 points tomorrow. Marco Silva then went on to talking about the away form again. He said we want to improve on last season's away form, which again, I think is pretty, you know, light as day anyway. We were better away from home yesterday. My mind's just gone blank. Not yesterday. We were better away from home last season than we were in previous seasons. However, you know, we need to win. We need to continually improve, because until we're beating 12, 13 sides away from home and we're getting draws against, you know, 5 or 6 sides away from home and we're only losing a couple of games a season, then, you know, well, realistically, until we're winning every game away from home, then we can be better, can't we? But, you know, being realistic, until we're at a point where we're winning a lot of away games against sides that we should be beating, then we can continuously improve. Canusican Kennedy says, you look like a young Chris Evans. I don't know if you're talking about Chris Evans, the radio presenter, or Chris Evans, the actor who plays Captain America. If you're talking about Chris Evans, the actor who plays Captain America, then I'm just going to walk around with a smile on my face all day. But I dare say you're probably talking about the radio presenter, because he's blonde with glasses and is nowhere near as good looking as Chris Evans, the actor who plays Captain America. Jeff says, chopping and changing never works, we need consistency. I agree with that one. And finally, Marco Silva, again, continually talking about away form. He said, we don't have to change many things when playing away, of course. You have to look at your opponents and look for their strengths and weaknesses. So he was asked a question. He was asked about, whether his tactics, whether his approach to games change when we're going away from home to when we're playing at Goodison Park. And he basically said, listen, whilst you have to take things into consideration, like obviously the fact that you're away from home, the fact that you're not in front of your home ground, they've got the advantage. You don't really have to change much tactically. You just have to look at who you're playing, their strengths and their weaknesses, and trying to obviously to use them to your advantage. And I think that's really, really interesting, because it's something that's been the discussion of a lot of Evertonians for the last, for years, basically, is, do we change our philosophies, do we change our tactics when we go away from home? Because obviously that's going to come up when we're playing so well at home, and when we're not performing at that level away from home, you do wonder as to whether things change and whether things are different. But obviously Marco Silva's come out and said that that's not the case. He's come out and said that we don't change tactically, we don't change in terms of our philosophies. We just have to look at the opponents and take small things into consideration. So that was the final thing he said in yesterday's pre-game press conference for Sunday's game. Listen, I think it goes without saying, this is a game that we should be winning. We need to be winning if we're going to be looking at challenging for the top 6 come the end of the season. If we're going to be looking at getting in that top 7 and getting in those Europa League places or European places, then we need to be beating the likes of Bournemouth away from home. Like I said, we shouldn't be looking around at us at other teams in terms of the games today and how well other teams do today, but we should be looking around us and think, well, will these teams that are currently above us beat Bournemouth away from home? Yes, they probably would. So we need to go out there and we need to do it on Sunday. Where are we? Canusican Kennedy says, you look... Oh no, that I've read that one. Can't think of enough names. Says the reason why we have to get top 6 is because it puts us on the map in being a good league team and are in Europe for players to join us in the future. Up the Everton's obvious. Yeah, spot on, mate. Listen, at the end of the day, players will go to teams because of where they are in Europe. Players will go to teams because they're playing in Europa League competitions, they're playing in Europe competitions, and they can see that progress. So I think it's not even a question. Players are excited by the fact that teams are in Europe, so it will ultimately help us in that way. But for me, like we spoke about in the first Unpopular Opinion series, I would like us to finish dead on in that 6th position, so we go straight into the group stages, and so it's a continuous flow into the season, rather than having to start your Europa League campaign bang in the middle of your pre-season. Kenneth Sukin says, meant that Captain America lad, belter, absolutely belter. What a compliment. Like, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for that. I'm going to be bouncing around now with a smile on my face all day. Jeff says, we as fans must ignore the pressure for instant success. The best teams take 3 to 4 years to build. Marco was on the right path. Exactly, and we're not going to get instant success. We're not going to get instant success. But like you said there, the best teams take time. Look at, those dickheads across the road. They've taken 4 or 5 years to get to where they are, and now everyone's saying, oh, this is the best manager in the world. Look how well he's doing with it, blah, blah, blah. He's been there for 4 years. It's a process, and it's a process with every team, and it's the exact same with Everton. Not saying we'll be where they are in 4 years, but I'm just saying things take time. And I do agree, Marco is on the right path, spot on. David says, exactly, look at Sevilla, exactly. Chris says, my prediction is Bournemouth in 11-1, I'd take that 100%. Wayne says, only like this channel and network, Michael D. Thank you very, very much. In session should mention Michael, might be doing a little something with Michael later on today, but you'll have to keep an eye out for that. Jeff says, Kanasuken, you're spot on, like before he went into the machine. Listen, I'll take that as well. I'll take a skinny Chris Evans. I'll just take being compared to an Avenger, to be honest with you. You could have said Valkyrie, you could have said any of them. I'll just take being compared to an Avenger. I'm going to bounce around now, thinking I'm fucking Captain America for the rest of the day. Can't think of an F name. Says, by the way, my name was to create because I couldn't think of an F name. There you go. Spot on. Says what it said. David says, no way we'll keep a clean sheet. I think 3-2 to the Blues. 100%. I'll take that. Listen, for me, it'd be nice to keep a clean sheet. I said this in the game preview. It'd be nice to go and batter them 5-0, 6-0. It'd be nice to do what we done to Burnley last year. But at the end of the day, if we get a scrappy 1-0 win and it comes off Seamus Coleman's arse in the last second and that wins us the game, then I'll take that, because 3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. So I'll take any win. Jeff says, really, if you hadn't told us, we'd have never have guessed. Can't think of an FNA. He says, also players who won't want to join us in July, having to play in Europe so sick is vital for us. Interesting. And he also says players will want to play in Europe without having to qualify. Very, very interesting. And Jeff says, we managed to sign Keane without European football and Gabam and Sidibe. Exactly, I think having Marcel Brands is obviously is a big thing, because he literally is unbelievable at his job. The man is one of the best at doing what he does in the world, and obviously, you know, he's fantastic at bringing players in and selling obviously the feeling of Everton and the process and obviously the project to players, and that's why we've managed to bring in the likes of Keane, Sidibe, Gabam and Fabian Delph as well. But imagine what we could do if we were in European football, because there is a number of players in the world that will have expectation, and unless you're in European football competitions, won't even listen to anybody. There's players that will be, you know, preferably want Europe, but will be open to discussions, hence the reasons to bring in Luca Dean in last season, Moise Keane, etc. But there is players that would only listen to teams that are in Europe, so it will affect us. I'm not saying it'll affect us massively. I'm not saying we'll go and get, you know, loads of quality players if we finish within a European competition, because we've got, in my opinion, the best in the business in Marcel Brands, and we could get these players anyway. But I'm just saying, you know, it can only be a positive really if we finish within the top 6 and not having to start playing football in the middle of July. And Jeff says, can we all just call you Cap now, Cam? Yeah, listen, call me Chris Evans, call me Captain America, call me an Avenger. I'm going to go and get a little shield from the Disney shop now, and I'm going to set it up behind me. I'm going to nail it to that pole there, so, you know, and then someone will come on the stream who's never been on stream before and say, why is there a Captain America shield behind you? And I'll say, listen, because when I was live streaming a press conference reaction once, Canucks and Kennedy said I looked like Captain America, so I'm basically Captain America now. And Chef says, oh, Captain, my Captain. Cheers, lads, cheers. And David says, that is Everton's arse. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's live stream. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like. It would mean a massive amount to me. If you haven't already as well, please do hit the subscribe button. It only takes a second. We're getting close now to 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can reach that within the next few months. Do follow us on Twitter. It's at MightyBluesYT. So close to 900 followers on Twitter now as well. I think we're like 6 away or 5 away. Basically, to keep up to date with all of the latest Everton information, all of the latest information on the channel, and to obviously keep up to date with all of the press conference information as well. I'm going to try and do a press conference reaction after every single press conference. If it's not the same day, then the next day, but I literally cover the press conferences over on Twitter as it's happening, so don't forget to follow us over there. Like I said, I might have another live stream a little bit later on in a couple of hours time, however, keep an eye out for that one, but I'm not too sure what's going to go on that one yet. So if you're free at around 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight, then spot on. If you're not, then I'm sure you'll catch up if it happens on a YouTube video. Big thanks to everybody for watching today's live stream. If you're watching the live comments, massive thank you for getting involved. If you're watching the YouTube video afterwards, then a big thanks for watching as per usual. Leave your comments in the comment section down below about Marco Silva's press conference and the topics that we've discussed, and I'll be going through them and commenting back as well. Kenneth Sugan says, cheers, Vale. Jeff says, thanks, Cam. Really enjoy these streams. You're doing a great job, Cap. Thank you very much, Jeff. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, Captain America. Listen, I'm going to go and tell my mum that anyway. She'll be made up. Kensuka says, cheers, Cap. Jeff laughing face. Wayne says, have a good weekend, respect. Thank you very much, Wayne, and thanks to everybody else for getting involved in today's live stream. Like I said, please do hit the like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Don't forget to join us a little bit later on today if we do live stream. If not, obviously it'll be the instant match reaction tomorrow. Hopefully it's a positive one. Hopefully we're all very happy, and hopefully it's another 3 points for Marco Silva's Blues. Wayne says, have a good weekend, respect. Thank you very much. Jeff says, laters everyone, laters. Thanks for getting involved. Please hit the like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Chris says, laters everyone, laters Chris, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.